All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about when you need to pick things, but you do not need to assign them roles. So the easiest way to think about this would be like, if you were in class and we had 10 people, and I said, I'm going to pick 2 people to go run an errand somewhere. 2 people are going to go bring this package to the office or something. It doesn't matter who I pick first or second because both of you would still go to the office. So in the other one, the permutation, we talked about assigning roles, right? Like if I said I'm going to pick 2 people, the first one's going to be the carrier, the second person's going to be the talker. But right now I'm just saying I'm going to pick 2 people and you're just going to the office. You're not lining up in order, you're just going. So this is what we call a combination. So we now have a combination and a permutation. In a combination, the order does not matter. Now, the good news is you're just going to press the same buttons in the calculator, only this time you're going to pick combination instead of permutation. So I'll show you how to do this in both of the calculators, and then you can move forward doing whichever one you feel more comfortable with. So for example, I would say I have 10 people. I'm going to choose, so NCR, 2 of them. So if you're using Desmos, you would do the same thing that we've been doing.
For the first one, actually I'll look back to my notes, I don't know if there are followers, but do we just like multiply, like put in the calculator? For number 1? Yeah.
Let me do this first. So here we go on the TI calculator. 10 people.
And then it's 1 term, so it's a monomial.
Math, probability.
And then
now you're going to NCR 2. And there's 45. Let me just show you real quick. Because you're not assigning roles.
Right, we're not doing any math.
Let's say you were doing 10 NPR. When you do NPR, you will always get a higher number because there's specific roles that you're assigning. We're not caring about assigning things, so it's just going to be 45. You're going to do NCR. So whenever you have NCR, your numbers are going to be significantly lower than if you were assigning roles. So this would be 45. Let me see. I don't know why I can't see this other calculator. Hold on. Hold on, let me exit it. There we go. It was hidden behind there. So for this one, you would just do stats, NCR, and then you're just doing your numbers. So 10, comma, 2. So you get 45. So whatever one you choose to use, it doesn't matter. Just whatever your preference is. Oh, I've X'd out of the notes. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to leave these for you to practice. We're not really going to use this notation, but essentially this is the same thing. 14 and CR 5. I've honestly never even used this. I don't know why the notes talk about it like this, but if you see it, there it is. Okay. I think these are the 2 questions it's going to ask you to do on the Go formative. So just practice putting them in the calculator and get the answer. Cross this one out, and let's talk about the next 2 questions. A student has to answer 4 out of 6 essay questions. Now, I know you're thinking that you would probably answer the easiest one first and the hardest one last or whatever, but it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you have to pick 4 out of 6. So what it's asking you is how many different combinations could you choose for this test? So the order does not matter. Just matters that you pick any 4 questions. So this would be 6 total questions, NCR 4. I'm just going to use the graphing calculator. It's easier for me to do on the computer.
Let's read the box. What's gonna go on the top?
So I'm going to do 4
And how many boxes are needed on the top? Needed on the top.
NCR. No, what was it? 6?
So only. Yeah.
6.
And then if the
And
other
then
one goes on
choose
the
4
side,
questions.
then we're gonna need 3
So
boxes on
15.
the side.
So you'll start to notice that you get lower numbers. There's only 15
That's fine, you can do it like that.
different ways that you can pick 4 questions. Okay?
You'd rather it the other way? That's fine.
Now, I'm going to put a star here because this is the hardest that these questions are going to get.
Mhm.
It says a basketball team consists of 2 centers, 5 forwards, and 4 guards. So this is just how many people are on the team. But that's a total of
You always bring this
11
on.
people. You can only play basketball with 5 people. So you have to do 2 problems in one here, and there will be questions like this on the Go Formative. Okay, so you're doing a 2 in 1 question. It wants to know how many ways can the coach select a starting lineup of 1 center, 2 forwards, and 2 guards. Now, the 1 center, that's an individual person. But the 2 forwards, it does not matter who gets picked first or second. You're still the forwards, no matter what. You don't get assigned roles, like you're not a special forward. So you're going to do 3 separate combination problems. So you're going to have 2 centers, choose 1. You're going to have 5 forwards, choose 2. You're going to have 4 guards, choose 2. And just like we talked about in the beginning of this whole chapter, when you have a certain number of outcomes for each different category, you're going to just multiply all these answers together. Now, I'm going to tell you that it's going to be easier for you to just do these and get 3 separate answers and then multiply them all together. So I'm going to do 2, choose 1. I'm just going to use this 2, choose 1. That's 2. 5, 2, 4, 2. Let me just get all the answers real quick. 5, 2, 4, 2. 5, choose 2, 5, nope, 4, choose 2. So you're going to have 2, 10, and 6. So there's 2 different ways you could pick these people. Obviously, there's 2 of them, so you only have 2 people. 2, if you have 5 people, you can pick 2 people 10 different ways. And if there's 4 people, you can pick 2 people 6 different ways. And then you're going to multiply together all of these different options. You'd have 60 times 2 is 120. There is a question also like that on the Go Formative for like picking males and females in a class. So just refer back to this question for that, okay? These, I'm going to set them up for you, and then we can put them all in the calculator at the end. So an election ballot asks voters to select 3 city commissioners from a group of 6. So this is like, people on like the Board of Education. It doesn't matter if you get selected for the Board of Education first or last. You are still on the Board of Education. So it doesn't matter if you get to first or third. If you are one of the 6 people to be chosen, and they need 3 people to be on the board, that's a combination, okay? A 4-person committee. No one's getting assigned roles. So you have 11, choose 4. Obviously, this is a very realistic situation. You're going to Hawaii and you're going to take only 10 books. Your parents say you can only take 10 books with you, even though you have a collection of 15 books. So you would obviously sit down with your calculator and you would figure out how many different ways you could have 15 books and choose only 10 of them to bring on this tropical vacation. Again, there are 6 seats that are left on a flight. Maybe it's to Hawaii. Oh, you're going to Hawaii. Perfect. And there are 12 people that can be chosen. Again, you are going to be assigned a seat, but in this case, it doesn't matter. As long as you get on the flight, you're on the flight. It doesn't matter where you're sitting, technically.
on my email and stuff. So if something-
To win the small county lottery, one must select 3 numbers from 30 numbers. The order does not matter. So this is a pretty easy lottery to win because there's 30 numbers and you need to pick any 3 of them
However, in order
and
to
you'll
be
win.
marked present for
That's not how a real lottery works. A real lottery is a permutation because your 1, 2, 3
okay,
is different than 3, 2, 1 in like the actual lottery.
complete
Um,
3 or 4
But in this
policies.
small county lottery, these are essentially the same number that you
We
can win.
understand?
So that's what it would be in the calculator. I just honestly didn't want to go back and forth between screens. So if you want to just check these answers, I'm going to put them in the calculator on my desk real quick. So it's a little bit quicker.
Now,
And then these would be the
on
answers.
tests tomorrow,
So if you want to put them in the Desmos calculator and double check, that's fine.
next to them,
If not, you can just believe me and hopefully I'm right.
so wait till the end to do those bonus questions. Do we have any other questions or concerns about tomorrow? If my meeting ends early, I'm gonna pop into class. But you don't have to be on the meet, so I'll just be popping into your class kick documents, okay? At home, can I get thumbs up, got it? I hear ya.
All right, so those are all the answers to this worksheet.
All right.
Hopefully you got the same answers if you were substituting in your own numbers into Desmos or the other Raffing calculator. But you guys can then just work on the Go formative for the rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow.